What if everything we thought we knew about Chinese history was only half the truth? What if buried beneath centuries of soil lies a dynasty so ancient and advanced it redefines the entire timeline of human civilization? This is not just speculation. In October 2024, a group of farmers in rural China unearthed relics that shook the academic world to its core, artifacts from a lost dynasty no one even knew existed. How could such a monumental chapter of history remain hidden for over 2,000 years? And more importantly, what secrets does it hold about the origins of human civilization? This story is more than just a discovery. It's a race against time, an exploration of the unknown, and a quest to piece together a forgotten world. Let's uncover this hidden dynasty step by step. Key point 1. The ordinary day that changed history. It was an unremarkable October morning in a remote Chinese village. The farmers were preparing their fields for the next planting season, their tools slicing through the earth with rhythmic precision. Then, one farmer's spade struck something hard. At first, he thought it was just another rock, but as they dug deeper, they began to unearth strange artifacts, ceramic shards with intricate designs, tools made of unfamiliar materials, and fragments of an alien-looking script etched into stone. The news spread quickly through the village, reaching local authorities and eventually drawing the attention of archaeologists. By the time the first experts arrived, it was clear this was no ordinary find. At first glance, they suspected the relics were from the well-documented Han Dynasty, a golden age of Chinese history. But initial tests told a different story. These artifacts were older, much older. The most astonishing discovery? A collection of tools and pottery that displayed craftsmanship far beyond what should have been possible for that era. Even more baffling was the faint impression of a written language unlike any seen before. As the dig site expanded, so did the mystery. Archaeologists began to suspect. They were looking at evidence of a sophisticated civilization predating the Han Dynasty by centuries. But who were these people? Cliffhanger question. Could this lost dynasty hold the key to understanding the origins of Chinese civilization, or even human history as a whole? Decoding the lost relics. But the real puzzle lay in the writing. The etchings on the stone tablets showed patterns and symbols that resembled early attempts at script, yet they matched no known language. A breakthrough came when a linguist noticed similarities to proto-writing systems from ancient Mesopotamia, suggesting that this lost dynasty might have had indirect contact with other advanced cultures of its time. Even more intriguing were the tools. Made from a unique alloy, they indicated advanced metallurgical knowledge. This wasn't just a society of farmers and hunters. It was a culture that understood engineering, design, and perhaps even governance. The pottery, adorned with detailed geometric patterns, hinted at a society that valued art and aesthetics. One particular vessel, perfectly preserved, featured depictions of what looked like a hierarchical social structure, figures in elaborate robes towering over others. The evidence was clear. This was not an isolated community. It was a civilization with a system of governance, a distinct culture, and likely trade networks stretching far beyond its borders. Cliffhanger question. How could such an advanced society rise and fall without leaving any trace in the historical record? What catastrophic event might have buried its legacy so completely? Theories of a forgotten civilization. As more artifacts were unearthed, experts were forced to confront an uncomfortable question. How could such an advanced dynasty exist without being mentioned in any historical texts or oral traditions? Theories began to emerge, each more tantalizing than the last. Theory 1. A lost river civilization. Some researchers suggested this dynasty may have thrived along an ancient river that later dried up or shifted course. Waterways have long been the cradles of civilization, providing sustenance, transportation, and trade routes. If a catastrophic event, a prolonged drought or earthquake, disrupted this lifeline, it could have caused the society to collapse, its remnants buried beneath layers of sediment. Theory 2. A victim of conquest. Another possibility is that this civilization was conquered and erased by a rival. Power. Ancient Chinese history is rife with tales of warring tribes and kingdoms. A victorious enemy might have systematically destroyed records of their rivals, leaving only these scattered artifacts as evidence. Theory 3. Natural catastrophe. One of the most chilling theories is that a natural disaster, perhaps a massive flood or volcanic eruption, wiped out the civilization overnight. This would explain why the artifacts were buried so deeply and preserved so well. Geological surveys of the area revealed signs of ancient seismic activity, lending weight to this hypothesis. Theory 4. Deliberate erasure. Could this dynasty have been deliberately erased from history? Some researchers point to the Qin dynasty, known for its attempts to unify China by suppressing rival cultures and burning historical records. It's possible that this lost dynasty posed a threat to the Qin's vision of a unified state and was methodically erased from history. Each theory deepened the intrigue, sparking debates among scholars. But what truly captivated the public imagination was the potential link to the larger global story of human civilization. The discovery of possible trade artifacts, beads similar to those found in Mesopotamia and South Asia, suggested that this dynasty wasn't isolated. Could it have been part of a vast network of early human civilizations, trading knowledge, goods, and even cultural ideas across continents? Cliffhanger question. If this lost dynasty was part of an ancient global network, what else could it tell us about the interconnectedness of early human societies? And what does it mean for the timeline of world history? The silent architects of civilization. As the excavation continued, the scale of the settlement became evident. Foundations of buildings, remnants of irrigation systems, and even roads began to emerge from the soil. This wasn't just a village, it was a well-planned urban center, a hub of activity and innovation. Archaeologists were particularly fascinated by the remnants of an irrigation system. Channels carved into the ground suggested an understanding of water management far ahead of their time. This system would have allowed the society to cultivate crops efficiently, supporting a larger population and fostering economic stability. But the real marvel was a massive structure at the heart of the site. Dubbed the Citadel by researchers, this complex appeared to be a combination of administrative center and ceremonial site. Its walls, constructed from stone and clay, bore intricate carvings depicting celestial events. Some archaeologists speculated that the society had a deep understanding of astronomy, perhaps using the stars to guide agricultural cycles or religious rituals. Even more astonishing were signs of social stratification. Excavations revealed stark differences in burial sites. While some graves were simple, others contained elaborate goods, jewelry, weapons, and tools. This pointed to a society with distinct classes, possibly ruled by a monarch or an elite council. Artifacts found in these graves also hinted at advanced trade. Exotic materials, like jade and shells, not native to the region, suggested long-distance exchange networks. These findings raised profound questions. What was this society trading, and with whom? Could this lost dynasty have influenced other ancient cultures? Despite the grandeur of their accomplishments, the silence surrounding this civilization remained haunting. Why had their achievements faded into obscurity while lesser-known dynasties were immortalized? Cliffhanger question. Could the secrets buried in the Citadel reveal how this advanced society shaped the world around them? And what clues might it hold about their sudden disappearance? A civilization's disappearance, theories of collapse. The further the researchers delved into the remnants of the lost dynasty, the more pressing a single question became. How does a civilization so advanced, so organized, simply vanish without a trace? Historians and archaeologists proposed several theories, each painting a picture of a society on the brink of collapse. Hypothesis 1. Environmental devastation. Geological surveys revealed evidence of drastic climate changes in the region. During the suspected timeline of the dynasty's existence, a series of devastating floods or prolonged droughts could have rendered their irrigation systems useless, cutting off the very lifeline that sustained their population. Crops would have failed, hunger would have spread, and the once thriving society could have descended into chaos. Hypothesis 2. Internal strife and social unrest. The archaeological record hinted at social stratification, with elites enjoying luxuries while common citizens lived more modestly. Such disparities could have sown seeds of discontent. Over time, uprisings or civil wars might have fractured the society, leaving it vulnerable to external threats or internal collapse. Hypothesis 3. Foreign invasion. A chilling possibility is that the dynasty was overrun by a more powerful rival. Weapons and other military artifacts discovered at the site showed signs of heavy use, suggesting that the civilization may have faced violent conflict. If conquered, their knowledge and culture could have been absorbed or destroyed by their victors. Hypothesis 4. A cultural eclipse. Could the dynasty's fall have been less dramatic but equally devastating? Over time, their culture may have simply been overshadowed by a dominant neighbor, their traditions forgotten as newer, more influential dynasties rose to prominence. This eclipse theory aligns with historical patterns where weaker societies are assimilated into larger, more powerful entities. Hypothesis 5. Catastrophic disease. The discovery of mass graves at the site raised the grim possibility of an epidemic. A sudden outbreak of disease could have decimated the population, leaving the survivors unable to maintain their infrastructure or defend their territory. This scenario would explain why the civilization's collapse appears so abrupt. Artifacts of warning. Among the most mysterious finds was a series of stone tablets engraved with what some scholars believe are warnings or prayers. Could these writings be desperate attempts to document the calamity that befell them? Or were they meant as warnings to future generations? Despite these theories, no single explanation seems to fully account for the lost dynasty's disappearance. The truth may lie in a combination of factors: perfect storm of environmental shifts, internal strife, and external pressures that overwhelmed the society. Cliffhanger question. As scientists work to decipher the engraved tablets, could they hold the key to understanding not only this civilization's end but also how humanity itself navigates the challenges of survival and progress? What this discovery means for humanity. The excavation of the lost Chinese dynasty is not just a historical breakthrough. It's a revelation that forces us to rethink the story of humanity itself. This society, hidden beneath centuries of soil, challenges the traditional narratives about the origins and progression of human civilizations, rewriting the timeline of civilization. For decades, historians have believed that complex societies in this region of the world only emerged during the well-documented dynasties of ancient China, such as the Shang and Han. Yet, the evidence from this site predates those periods by centuries, suggesting that advanced civilizations flourished much earlier than previously thought. If this dynasty had its own written language, advanced tools, and trade networks, it raises a profound question. What other ancient societies might we have overlooked simply because their stories weren't recorded in the ways we expect? Global interconnectivity in ancient times. The discovery of trade artifacts similar to those found in Mesopotamia and South Asia hints at an early network of cultural and economic exchange. This interconnectedness suggests that ancient civilizations were not isolated but part of a broader system of knowledge sharing and innovation. Could this lost dynasty have influenced or been influenced by other advanced societies around the world? If so, it rewrites the narrative of human progress, painting a picture of global collaboration rather than isolated innovation. Lessons from their fall. Perhaps the most poignant aspect of this discovery lies in the unanswered question of their disappearance. Whether through environmental collapse, internal conflict, or external conquest, this dynasty's demise serves as a stark reminder of the fragility of even the most advanced civilizations. In a world grappling with its own challenges, climate change, inequality, and global conflict, what can we learn from their fate? How can understanding their rise and fall help us ensure our own survival and progress? A window into the human spirit. Beyond its historical significance, this discovery reveals the resilience, creativity, and ambition of humanity. The Lost Dynasty's achievements, its artistry, governance, and technological prowess, are a testament to the enduring drive to build, innovate, and leave a mark on the world. And yet, the fact that they were buried and forgotten for millennia serves as a humbling reminder. Even the greatest societies can vanish if we fail to preserve their stories. The final revelation. As excavations continue, the world watches with bated breath. What other secrets lie beneath our feet, waiting to be unearthed? Could this lost dynasty hold clues to solving modern mysteries about human development, cultural exchange, and resilience? Or will it remain, like so much of history, a tantalizing puzzle that reveals as much about us as it does about the past? Every artifact uncovered from this lost dynasty is more than just a relic. It's a message from the past. It's a reminder that history is never static, that our understanding of the world is always evolving. And perhaps, buried somewhere deep in the earth, is the next discovery that will challenge everything we think we know about ourselves.